Oh shit, here we go again.
League of Wiz. Wizard of Legend is a roguelike dungeon crawler that was developed by Contingent 99 and came out in May of 2018. In this game, you play as an unnamed protagonist who wants to be the guy. The beginning of the game starts off with your character being at a museum. This museum basically serves as your exposition and world building if you decide to read the displays. You are a powerful wizard who for some reason doesn't have any powers until the museum gives you some. You want to clear the Chaos Trials, which are similar to other trials like the Mark of Mastery exam from Kingdom Hearts, but more straightforward with less bad writing. The Chaos Trials, after passing them, will make you a Wizard of Legend.
Roll credits.
The museum also has other wizards running around. They are practicing Arcana, the name of the magic spells in this world. Their practice is a good demonstration of how some spells will look or how they can be used. After talking to some of the employees of the museum, they give you attack and dodge arcana that you can try out in the designated areas. So after you're done throwing out arcana at innocent people and displays like the terrorist you are, you'll eventually reach the end of the museum, which is like a pre-trial to give you the basic idea of what's ahead. After going through that tutorial run, you'll make your way towards the end of the museum where the plot happens. After that occurs, you'll wake up in the place you'll be staying while taking the Chaos Trials. Here you can talk to your Beauty and the Beast inspired talking wardrobe, mirror, and best girls Mimi and Tomi. The mirror lets you replay through the tutorial part of this mission if you want to. The wardrobe lets you choose your cloak, some of which provide different bonuses. Mimi, the talking chest, will allow you to change your relics, relics being special items that you can have during the trials that provide certain bonuses. Then there's Tomi, who talking to will allow you to change your arcana. Wizard of Legend has a huge variety of unique skills at your disposal, only 10% of which you'll actually use. Wield the power of the elements fire, air, water, earth, and the broken one. There are a few people you can talk to that play an important part in your runs. There's Best Boy Andre that you can buy relics from. Before going in, you can only have one equipped, so choose wisely. You can buy Arcana from the virtuoso named Iris, who refuses to give you the good shit until you've lost your will to live. There's Seville, who makes the cloaks. Talking to him outside of the trials allows him to remove the effects of whatever armor you're wearing and supply it with different bonuses. There are others in the courtyard who can help in different ways. Jade, whose entire personality is based on the fact that she'll trade you her gold for your Chaos Gems because they're shiny. Gold is only useful during the trials, but Chaos Gems can be used outside of the trials to buy things like armor, arcana, and relics for your permanent use. It's a really good trade because you give her 20 Chaos Gems to drool over, and she gives you 200 gold to fuel your poor life decisions. There's Nocturne, who makes his money by randomizing your Arcana loadout and your relic for your next run. There's Malind, who you can pay to change the order of the areas you run through. Then there's Malinda. Talking to her will allow you to activate hard mode. But we don't like to talk about that. Runs through the Chaos Trial will have you going through stages that are like a maze. The stages are randomly generated, so no one run will be like the other. Each stage consists of 2 maze areas and then a big boss fight with one of the 4 council members. In my opinion, the easiest council members are Freya, the Ice Queen, and Shu, the Wind Sovereign. Earth Lord Atlas is middle ground. Then there's Flame Empress Zeal. Zeal is the hardest in my opinion, but each person will have different opinions. As you go through the stages, enemies and bosses will become more aggressive and get more attacks. So some council members are harder in the later stages than others, which is why talking to Malind in the courtyard might be able to help you fight one of the harder council members first, even though the one he offers for you to fight first is randomly picked. As you go through the stages, you'll run into many different enemy types. We got blobs, sword boys, lance boys, sorcerers, cunts, mimics, and many others. Some enemies have elemental attacks depending on the element that stage corresponds to. The stage type relates to the council members, so Freya will have ice, Zil will be fire, Atlas will have earth, and Shu will be wind, which I just gotta say that Shu's area has the best music. Each normal stage will end in fighting a mini-boss. There are 7 that you could run into. Each mini-boss will also have minions that help them out. In most cases, it's best to get rid of the minions first, but in the later stages, the minions can respawn, so be careful. Each boss, including council members, can't be staggered while they're attacking. Once they stop attacking, however, they'll lose that golden glow around them, or they'll start showboating because Freya and Atlas are dicks! You have a brief window of time to deal damage to them, which will stagger them to let you get in some damage before they become unstaggerable. The 7 mini-bosses are the Crash Knight. This one is pretty easy to handle as long as you take your time with it. The only move you really have to watch out for is his charge. You'll know it's coming when he poses and a line appears in front of him showing where he's charging to. The Grand Summoner will summon minions to attack you with. Just dodge the red lines and minion fire. Taking out the minions first definitely helps with it. Burst Mage is bullet hell in the cell, so be ready to dodge. This one can be difficult without Arcana that can help you avoid damage or projectiles, but the strategy for him is roughly the same as the Grand Summon. There's Counter Road. While fighting him, he will sometimes cloak and try to attack you with his other minions, which if you attack him first, they will disappear. In later stages, he will sometimes cloak and start healing in one of the corners of the room, so find him and keep hitting him till his armor breaks to stop him from healing. Crush Colossus is a mini-boss whose minions are tougher than he is. All you have to do is dodge away when he jumps over to you. In later stages, he throws thwomps at you like he's bowling, but this is pretty easy to dodge too. Strafe Archer, another boss whose difficulty is increased mainly by the fact that his minions will get in your way. His attacks are pretty easy to dodge, so just hit him whenever he stops attacking and try to avoid the red lines. Fleet Lancer takes all the things I hate about the Lancers and multiplies them. He has Lance minions poking you, while he takes his Lance and tries to you into a corner. Take out his minions so they don't poke you out of your attacks and then focus him down. Beat the bosses and you'll be rewarded with a chest that will drop gems, gold, healing orbs, and sometimes relics or arcana. After beating 2 regular stages, you'll go up against the council member for that area. The biggest tip I can give you is to be ready to dodge. Every council member has an array of attacks that would take too long for me to go into, but if you watch their movements and dodge, you'll eventually find the pattern. Each council member has a signature like you, but better. Try and get used to avoiding these signatures and being near the council members when they end, because there's a very brief window for when you can stun them so they don't immediately begin attacking. Freya's signature is an assault with ice shurikens that will freeze you if they hit. This one is hard to avoid depending on where either you or Freya are located. Try and be in a corner of the room and run around the room in a circle until all of them are gone. Using moves that grant you shields or stop/redirect projectiles will not work against this attack. Shu's signature shoots out a barrage of winds at you that will slow you if they hit. Right before the winds shoot by, you can see where they're coming from by the multiple lines that show up right before they launch. Dodge away from these lines till he stops firing. Atlas's signature sends out waves of earth that will track you. If it hits, it will stun lock you and carry you into a corner. Like Freya's, try and run in a circle and dodge away from them until they stop following you. Annoyingly, the window of time to damage him slightly overlaps with his signature, so try and hit him from a distance or wail on him right before the signature ends. Zil's signature is a bit of a pain. It rains down meteors at you that knock you back and deal burn damage if they land. This one can be hard to avoid because of the amount of meteors landing, not to mention the meteors themselves can sometimes make it hard to judge where is safe. Run around the room and dodge out of the red circles until the storm stops. This game is difficult. If you're having trouble, don't worry about it. It's hard like the older games, and it's not like anyone is making difficult games anymore. There will be people trying to help you during your trial to make the run more doable though. In the mazes, there will be 3 different vendors that you can go to get things from. The green vendor is Andre, the guy selling you relics in the courtyard. This allows you to buy and hold more than 1 relic up to a limit. The purple vendor is Iris, the one who was selling Arcana. You can buy Arcana from them that are either normal or sometimes enhanced, meaning they have bonus effects. Arcana received during the Chaos Trials will be equipped in the 2 empty slots. The red vendor changes from stage to stage, and each of them has a specific relic that will make them appear. The red vendors are different from the others because they typically require you to sacrifice something in exchange for whatever they offer. Just like there are 7 mini-bosses, there are also 7 red vendors. Seville shows up as a red vendor. You can pay him gold to upgrade your armor bonuses by 50%, or if you're using armor without bonuses, he will upgrade them to have some. This transaction will also cause you to lose 125 health. Probably because he's stabbing you with his needles because he couldn't be a Wizard of Legend. If you have less than 126 health, it will not kill you, but instead will leave you at 1 HP. The relic to make them show up is the Token of Elegance. Nocturne also returns, and he can give you Enhanced Arcana. He takes one of your standard Arcana, enhances it, and then shuffles it in with 4 other random Enhanced Arcana. After he shuffles, you pick one of the face-down cards and receive whatever Arcana it was. The relic to make them appear is the Token of Luck, which can be given to him instead of an Arcana. Next, there's Taffy, an annoying piñata who is probably the sole reason his people are often beaten with bets. You have to drop his health down to 0 to get his reward, and you have about 5 seconds to do so. If you succeed, he drops an Enhanced Arcana. If you don't succeed, he teleports to the center of the room with full health and laughs at you. Don't worry though, you can keep beating the stuffing out of him until you succeed or, give up. His relic is the Token of Triumph. Doki the Banker is this game's version of trying to pay off your loans. You sell them all of your gold and they will give you 9% of that amount in Chaos Gems. This is mainly useful if you're trying to farm Chaos Gems to buy stuff. Their relic is the Token of Wealth, which also upgrades the exchange rate from 9% to 12.5%. Nox the Unfortunate is a red vendor that gives you relics. These relics, though, are cursed. Cursed relics are free and typically provide a strong bonus, but they also provide a drawback. In most cases, it's probably best to not take them when trying to complete your first run because some drawbacks outweigh the benefits. The relic is the Token of Doom. After completing your first run, Nox will also show up in the hub area. The only thing left to know about Nox is what's under that robe when they believe no one else is around. Cremere, I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Cremere, Kroinky, the Collector, will allow you to sell one of your relics to him and he will give you 40% of the item's store value in gold. Cursed relics cannot be sold to him. You have to go into your inventory and drop one of your relics to sell to him. His relic is the Token of Commerce, and having the token will double the amount he gives you. The last red vendor is Best Demon Girl Dr. Song. American Healthcare over here will only help you out if you donate one of your standard Arcana to her for her research. In return, she'll give you one strong relic that you can only get from her, or she'll drop 3 health orbs. Her relic is the Token of Health. You can give this to her instead of your Arcana, which in my opinion makes her one of the best red vendors if you have the token. So now that you've got that, let me tell you about the real challenge. Spoiler warning, if you don't want to know about the final part of the Chaos Trials, skip to... After going through all the stages and beating the last council member, you'll be teleported to a room. After walking towards the end of the room, you'll meet Sura. Nobody likes Sura because it's his fault you can't enjoy the fact that you finally made it to the last stage. Sura is a master wizard who gets his power and confidence from beating on people that's younger than him. Sura is the final boss that you must beat to truly finish the Chaos Trials. At first, Sura will summon an avatar that shields him while he attacks. Avoid the red lines and circles as he attacks you and attack the avatar until Sura's armor is removed. After you destroy his avatar, he'll temporarily be vulnerable, so wail on him until his avatar comes back. After you beat Sura this way, you find out that that wasn't even his final form. Because as luck would have it, he's the type of person to not kick you while you're down once, but twice. I'm sure he likes to kick babies in his spare time.
Ready, Ike? Kick the baby!
Don't kick the baby.
Kick the baby!
During this stage of the fight, he loses the bodyguard and starts fighting like a council member that actually knows how to dodge. He unleashes about 5 attacks at you that can be from any of the available elements. Huge tip, if you notice a big red circle pop up, get away from it. It's a lightning arcana that will stun lock you until he hits you with his next attack, and this will do a lot of damage to you. His last attack in the chain will be a signature. The signature will change each time he does it, so be careful. After he uses his signature, he has a very brief window where you can attack him to stagger him. If you don't hit him soon enough, he dashes away. Pro tip, after he dashes, if you're quick enough, you can dash after and hit him right before he starts attacking you. After beating Baby Kicker in his final form, you will be teleported away to a celebration. People you know will be there to celebrate you overcoming the Chaos Trials as you walk down the red carpet. Upon getting to the end, you'll be met by Sura and the 4 council members. Speak to Sura and he will make you the leader of the College of Winterhold. Wait, wrong game. He will bestow upon you a token that proves you have bested the Chaos Trials. He will also unlock your ability to use Chaos Arcana, the other broken one. Chaos Arcana is the black and purple arcana he was trying to murder you with 2 minutes ago. The Chaos Arcana he drops is random. After this, Sura will tell you that he will teleport. That just sounds awful. Once you leave the area, you'll wake up in the museum you started the game in. As you walk through the museum, all the displays have changed. The displays are all about you. You were teleported to the past to become the Wizard of Legend, which is cool even though you don't get any of the glory. The museum will show all the people that helped you and the Arcana relics and such that you had equipped to beat the Chaos Trials. After exiting this section, the credits will roll. After all that happens, you can re-enter the game and there will be 2 new additions. First, Nox will show up in this lobby area now in the top left corner. This will allow you to buy cursed relics before you do a run. Second, in the bottom left corner of the room, there will be a new person to talk to. They allow you to do the boss rush mode. You can't bring any gold from Jade or a cursed relic from Nox beforehand. This mode is like going through the Chaos Trials, but it's only the boss fights. You'll spawn into a room with the summoning stone for the mini-boss. This area will have access to the green and purple vendors as well as 2 of the red vendors. After fighting the mini-boss, you'll immediately fight one of the council members. This process repeats until you fought all 4 council members and then you fight Sura at the end. This mode is really fun, but it costs 20 Chaos Gems to do. Also, after beating the Chaos Trials, there's this secret endless mode. Once you make it to the final stage, before you meet Sura, there's this guy in the corner who totally doesn't give candy to the neighborhood kids. Talk to him and he'll restart the Chaos Trials, but you get to keep all the things you have on you like your gold, arcana, and relics. Whew. Got all that? Alright, final points. What things can I say to help you actually complete your first run or runs thereafter? Think about the combos each arcana have with each other and try to make a build that synergizes really well. Some arcana are more potent than others, so try and figure out which ones work for you. As I mentioned before, lightning is probably one of the more broken elements due to its ability to not only hit targets multiple times, but it can both stun lock and travel between targets. A build that many suggest for first runs is using the Cloak of Awe, the Relic Vampire Goggles, and my suggestion, the Melee Arcana Bolt Ray. Cloak of Awe increases crit chance and crit damage. Vampire Goggles gives you health back whenever you crit. Bolt Rail, being a lightning arcana, hits multiple times, which means it has more chances to crit. Pairing these together should allow you to get a decent amount of healing as you fight. After this, just choose whatever arcana you think will work best for you. You can choose arcana that add to your defense like Evading Zephyr, one of the most broken era arcana that makes you dodge everything as long as you're moving or using your melee arcana. Cardus Prime is one of the Don't Touch Me arcana. It's an arcana that spins ice blades around you that deal damage to enemies you get close to. Another choice is Earthen Aegis, an earth arcana that spins shields around you. Arcana that hit multiple times will stack with this build too, so the Arcana Heroic Leap, a personal favorite signature of mine, is a fire arcana that hits multiple times before knocking enemies back. Some arcana can hit through walls, so if you're fine with cheesing a little bit, consider that as an option. Use the air arcana Blurring Falconry to meme on your enemies. If you haven't cleared a full run yet, it's probably best to avoid cursed relics if you can. Some of them, like Golden Armor / Golden Saber of Envy, may be fine, but consider the drawbacks. You can play this game in local co-op or online co-op with Parsec somehow. This allows you to make runs with friends. Gold and health potions are shared, but relics and arcana are not. Just be prepared to be pulled into a pit because you're on opposite sides of the screen, or experience true friendship when your friend memes over your dead body. Consider what you buy from Andre or Iris, because in the next room they could be selling you something you'll want even more and you don't have the gold for it. Andre sells health potions that restore 40% of your max health. He only sells one per stage unless you have a certain relic that changes this. The healing will also reduce every time you buy one, so try not to use them too early. Buying one on floor 1-2 won't be as helpful in the long run as buying it on floor 2-2. Don't throw all your money at Iris in the beginning stages, because it's possible for you to unlock Arcana from opening chests, killing bosses, or killing Taffy. It might be best to save your money for Andre. Occasionally, a relic or treasure chest will be in one room of an area, but that area is always a trap. And sometimes after defeating mini-bosses or opening chests, the relics may be a cursed relic. You can tell it's cursed if it's got a red aura around the item. In most cases, it's best to just leave them. Unicorn Disguise is the best relic in the game, fight me. Another decent air arcana I can recommend is Tearing Whirlwind. It pulls enemies towards you, allowing you to group them up. You can also use it to drag them off edges to get fast and easy kills. Elemental weakness is a thing in this game. For instance, Freya is strong against fire but weak to lightning. Zeal is weak to water, Shu is weak to fire, and Atlas is weak to air. Finally, have fun. This game can get aggravating if you put too much focus into just trying to clear the trials. For me, the game got updated to be even harder before I made my first clear, so it got a little aggravating at times, I'll admit. After I cleared it, I just tossed on the Horse Mask and fueled Berserk, a fire arcana that speeds up your melee, and just went to town. What I said in the beginning about some arcana being better than others was true, but just do trial and error to see what you like. You can always look up builds other than what I mentioned, but ultimately figure out what works best for you. Well, that's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to leave any other tips or questions you may have in the comments. Also, let me know in the comments what build you beat your first run with, or what builds you like to run now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It'll really help me out as a small YouTuber. See you guys next time. Peace.